Well, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here in my shop. Today should be a pretty exciting day. I'll be hopefully applying power to this. I think it's ready to go, and we're going to find out what happens at least on one channel. And but first, if you've watched lots of my videos, you know I usually go out yard sailing on the weekend. Yesterday was Sunday, and I had to go to the drugstore, and on the way home I passed a yard sale. I thought I'd stop at it. Stop at this yard sale, and all I can see are, glass bowls and just trinkets and things like that. But I look it over because I've learned you gotta look these things over pretty carefully. Remember a couple of days ago on a video I spent quite a bit of time looking at my cartridge here and checking it out. At this yard sale, sitting all alone on a table for no reason, was this another head shell with a cartridge with no needle. That's not a very good cartridge either. But there you go, look at that. So for $1, I got another head shell from a yard sale. And the woman had no idea why she had it. She wasn't sure what it was. Anyway, let that be a lesson. Just like this work, you need to look, and look. And even after you've looked, you probably still don't see what's there to be seen. So same thing at yard sales. Same thing in life, I guess. Okay, so let's just do a quick review here of everything before I actually put some power to this guy. So first of all, on the tube front, I have the functioning output tubes. I have a functioning this is probably a preamp and inverter tube to operate the push-pull. This guy's just great. Okay, I've got a 12AX7 here, a 12AX7 here, and I still have one tube in, the 6 BJ6, I think it is. 6 BJ6, and this is the volume control. Earlier on I mused that who needs a volume control in something like this these days? This was to compensate for varying volume levels on different records. It could be dramatically different on different records. And so here in my own house, I wasn't playing records on a jukebox. I was playing the modern jukebox. I was streaming music off of Amazon, in fact. And you know what? The volume levels are all over the place. So the same problem persists today with the modern jukebox, the streaming systems that we have. So tube back in, maybe it's of some value there. Okay, speakers connected. Plug this in. This is the high voltage short. It's set in place. Volume control's in, but the volume control is not really wired in here exactly the way it should be. So it's kind of a simpleton voltmeter thing going on there as compared to what would normally be in here. Did I say voltmeter? Volume control is what I meant. It's a good thing I don't misspeak. Okay, now what should we do here? Should we put the 120 on right away? No, I don't think so. I think the first thing maybe is the 6.3 volts. And then we'll see these tubes heat up. We know they're okay and everything's okay there. Then we can apply the 120. I can't throttle this significantly enough. I'll put maximum throttleage on here. The reason I can't throttle it is because there's not much there to be throttled. That's a 60 watt, that's a 100 watt. This is a 40, I'm pretty sure. This is a 25 watt. Ooh, I gotta find a 40 watt bulb somewhere. Get my dim bulb system going 100%. So a 25, and I'll put in a 60 here on the other side. And we'll leave the 60 loose. Okay, so the 60 is not in. So I have a 25 watt bulb in series with the 120 volts coming to this thing to restrict it heavily. But this won't draw very much, so the restriction might actually be ineffective. So this thing may actually see 120 volts or pretty close to it right from the start. Okay, so 6.3 first. Should I put an ammeter in here just to be sure what I'm doing? No, I should put an ammeter in there to aid in the confusion. That's what I should do. Let's put an ammeter in here, just the first time. I mean, I tested this with a bunch more tubes in here. I'm worried about the current draw being beyond the range of my little power supply up there. So we'll put this on the ampers. Put this around here to the unfused 20 amp setting. Take one of these off. I may have this backwards, but that doesn't really matter. It just means there'll be a negative sign on the ammeter, that's all. Okay, so first step, power to the little tubes. Let me get this out of here. I'm going to start putting power on my bench. I want it to be relatively neat, at least to start. No extraneous wires. Okay. As soon as I flip this to standby, 6.3 volts appears here. As I've learned, this is down, this is down. Standby, you can see the current. No, you can't see the current. I moved this. So we're drawing about 2 amps. Going down as the tubes heat, so this is not going to stress out my little power supply up there. But let's just leave it on for now. It's here. Who's heating up? That guy, that guy. These should all be heating up. I mean, I tested them all. Good. But there could be problems in the amplifier circuitry. Not very likely. That guy's heating. This guy's heating. And the last one's heating. So all those low 6.3 volt tubes are heating. The fact is now, if I apply the 120 volts or something close to it, this guy's going to come to life. I have no input signal. I have no way of knowing if I have the volume set properly or not. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. The volume control, when turned towards pin 1 is the ground. And the ground is reflected by the double wire there. So if I turn it in this direction, that should be turned down. You know what I've forgotten? I don't have an input signal. Input signal. So I think I'm going to use a fairly decent supply here for the input signal, so I have good control over it. So I have a couple of choices here. I have an audio signal generator here, which I have trouble maintaining really good control over it, and then I have this guy. This is a really good guy for having control. Now, input. Okay, so I'm going to do off the heaters. We will remove the meter here. Muttering and mumbling. Input. So I don't have a plug like this at all. I'm pretty sure I need to have three pins coming up. 3 pins coming up. Okay, now I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to hunt down 3 pins. So I've ended up having to manufacture my own pins here. These are, well, I'll show you what. Hey! I'll show you another yard sale by here. This is a piece of coat hanger wire I'm preparing by sanding the varnish off it because it fits fairly nicely in there. But take a look at this while I'm showing off yard sale buys. I couldn't believe this one either. Got this. I got two of these guys. Two of these guys. Two of these full of stuff. $2 a piece. I couldn't believe somebody was selling me those for $2 a piece. Empty, they're worth $5 a piece. Anyway, I have a good time at yard sales. So we're going to cut this into 3 lengths sticking out. And yeah, I had those nails in here because I thought a nail would fit in there quite nicely, but no, it did not. Away goes that. Okay, just bend them a little bit. I can't. Not strong enough. In you go. These are just input anyway. Hey, one of these is going to be a ground, I imagine, right to the chassis. Let's see if we can figure out that. Are you that one? Are you that one? Uh-oh. Are you this one? None of them are showing a 0. None of them are showing a 0. Let's flip this over here. Okay. So I can see the 3 pins here. 2 of them look like they're treated the same way. They've got capacitor here. Capacitors. Electrolytic capacitor right on the input. Huh. 2 electrolytic, look like electrolytic capacitors. The 3rd pin is treated completely different. There it is, going right to the ground. I can see it. Okay, we know which one's which. Which one's which? Just to be sure, it's the most inbound, inward one. Most inward one. Okay, so that would be the ground, and this would be, well, we're going to guess. We won't have to guess in the end. Now, should I be starting this guy up with an input? No, I don't think so. But I should be at the ready with an input. So let's be at the ready. So what I would do, click this on here and then tap, tap, touch with my finger, stuff like that. See if anything makes a sound out the speakers. First thing though, of course, is hum and hiss. Is there a hum and a hiss coming from the speaker? Which would be a good sign. So we've reached the point here. We've reached the point. Everybody ready? Okay, so now I've done half of it with the low voltage. Maybe I should do half of it with the high voltage before doing any more. That's going to put high voltage through the set. If there's a problem, then the light's going to reflect it. The 25 watt restrictive light is going to be bright, I am sure, with a great big guy like this. Now I've said both, haven't I? I said it probably won't draw enough, and now I just said it's probably going to draw a lot. It just shows you I don't know. So 25 watt bulb will keep us safe. Tools away. Okay, I just can't delay it any longer. What's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is, what is the worst thing that can happen here? A short circuit on the high voltage that isn't enough to catch my attention on the dim bulbs, and something gives up the ghost. The worst case would be, a big output transformer. Chance of that happening is so low. With me standing here, it's just really, really low. Well, I don't know. I can't think of anything else really terrible that would happen. These things go off like rockets. Right in front of my face. That's okay, because I'm prepared. Okay. So we'll fire up the high voltage, see what happens, turn off the high voltage, or the 120 volts, turn on the 6.3, then turn on the high voltage, then cover our ears. Got the order. The order of disaster is worked out. And this, actually, I'm going to flip this right around and put this on the back side, away from me and everything else. Okay. Now when I plug anything in my shop here, it's not going right into an outlet, it's going through a isolation transformer. Just in case you're interested. See how nervous I am about turning this on? Very. Okay, now my hand is upon the switch. Switch goes down, light comes on. We wait a little while, see if the light dulls, see if anything else bad happens. Any loud sounds, explosions, time to run. Here we go. Okay, so we have so we have 122 volts on that pin, and so what I'm looking for is this tube to light. If this tube doesn't light really soon, like right now. So if the power was being restricted, there wouldn't be 122 volts here. There's no current being drawn by this right now. How did I boob it up? What have I done? They're already in a zone here. Completely unexpected. Oh. 120 volts. Don't do anything stupid here while we think about this. How do I know for sure there's 120 volts making it past that plug? I have to flip this over to get at the actual wires. I don't want to do that. Not with the state this is in right now. I would call this very precarious. This is a precarious situation here. What I will try to do is read the AC voltage right on the terminals back here. And bearing in mind this could come on at any time by bumping anything. I might bump. Okay, so we're looking for 120 on there. Don't short it. Anybody see it? I can't even see it. 120. It's all there. Okay, so what's happening? What have I done here? That's dumb. I got the short in, but the short shouldn't stop the heater. Yeah. What happened here? That this wouldn't work. So the 120 volts should be energizing this transformer primary. Out of the high voltage secondary is 2 lines and a center tap going to the 2 plates here. What am I not thinking? What am I not thinking of? Oh boy. It's very, this is really nerve-wracking. Didn't I do this earlier on and I got this tube to light? Or did I? Did I get this tube ever to light in here? I got the other tubes to light and I've done it twice. I never got this tube to light? Is that what happened? Oh my gosh, really? Now the owner of this has told me he did exactly what I've done now. Well, not exactly, but he's applied 120 volts to the pin on the back here and saw this tube light. So maybe that's what I'm remembering. Well, if it worked for him, why won't it work for me? Why won't this work for me? Okay, so let's cut the power. So a possibility is a blown fuse here, or even oh, that's a really That's an awfully short fuse. Is that going to fit in there? Power's off. Let me just pull this plug out. It's a visible point of separation. Is this really the right fuse? Yeah. Yeah, that should fit. It's not the right fuse in terms of size. Is this fuse really good? Wait a minute. Sometimes good looking fuses. I mean, this is a great big 20 amp fuse or something. It's supposed to be a 3 amp in there. There's a big honker here. What are the chances? Chances of this being open is just about nil. Yeah, short circuit. Well, we've eliminated the blown fuse problem, the incorrect fuse, size problem. Fuse holder is loose. Power is off, plug is out. Let's flip this guy up and try to figure out what happened just now. Or more directly, figure out why something didn't happen just now. So I flip this right over, I'm going to interfere with this tube. Let me just flip it up on its side here. Okay, just stabilize it a little bit better. There. Now I can't see anything up in here. Okay, big tube out. Big tube socket is very loose. Okay, I didn't really want to do this. I'm doing it now. There we go. Did I do it enough? Okay, hopefully that won't fall out. Kind of rehearse in my head how to flip this because it's got wires hooked up to it. Holy smokes. Ooh, I hit it right on the tubules there for a minute. Okay, how come you didn't work? How come you didn't work? Oh my gosh, this is not what I was expecting at all. And I did not expect this to happen. Really. So, power's coming in here. It's going through the fuse. It's heading down this wire. Going right into this transformer. Oh. Okay, the other wire definitely connected to the 120. So hard to see. It's traveling down here. It's following. It is actually the lead wires coming right out of this transformer. Ah, come on, man. It can't be the case. So, you know, the implications are the power transformer doesn't work. Wow. If that's the case, we've gone a long road to get to nowhere. How can this not be working? So I think it's bad fuse connection. That's what I think. Now I have the rectifier tube out. If I put power on here, it will energize the primary, should generate the high voltages here, but they can't go anywhere. And that should prove whether this transformer is transforming or not. Doesn't prove what's wrong though. Okay, let's get this voltmeter over here. This is going to be a really high voltage coming out. set my meter to the top, 750. So practice. 2 coming out here, 2 coming out here. Somewhere in this combination there lies high voltage. Pins are all dirty. Really, really, really dirty. Do I have something that could, you know, I don't think I have something that'll be just right for cleaning those guys up. I don't think I have a strong enough brush. Okay. I don't think that did a darn thing. Okay, so we're going to put the power on and we're going to go looking for the output of this transformer. And we'll go looking for the AC over here too. Actually, look right across the fuse. Why don't we start with that? That's a good idea. Still have dim bulb in, of course. Where'd the power cord go? Okay, plugs are still safe and secure. Okay. Once again, maybe, yeah, maybe it's going to work. It can't. I got the high voltage rectifier out. What am I not thinking of? Power on. Watching my 123 volts on that. Let's just go start looking for high voltage here. Hands up. Start with this one. Nobody home. Nobody home there. Oh boy, this is not a good sign. What's happened? Wow, okay, so we're going to go look for the 120 volts on this side of the outlet. There it is. And across, did I say I said across the fuse first? The fuse is refusing. Okay, so the fuse is the problem. Fuse is the problem. Power off. What's the problem? Now, this was put in by the owner. The owner is an electrician, so he knows all about, you know, the power side of things, and so he was able to do this. Something's gone wrong with this. What could go wrong? Wrong size fuse. Too short a fuse. Okay, well, what we can do here with the power off, pull the plug out. Here, I put this on Mr. Ohms. And we take a look. Open. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for my other leads here. I wish I had a nice, like a longer set of these leads. I've been wishing for things I have. Good. And no power. Plug is out. Right across the fuse. And now we wiggle. Okay, I'm just dropping the fuse out. It just must be the wrong length. How could it not? How could? Okay, let's get some more fuses going here. if this is the right length, putting any one longer in is I won't be able to screw it. So how many lengths do these come in? I don't think they come in too many different lengths. There's a shorter one. And lots of shorter ones. The even smaller one there. I think that's a high voltage one from a European radio. I think. Slightly smaller than the last one. There's some time delay. Slightly bigger. Now that looks like it'll be worth trying, but that's... We're going to put a big honker in there just like what's in there now. Because I'm controlling the potential for short circuit in a different way. Let's see if this will fit. Because I don't think I can get one that's in between these sizes. I don't know. Wow. I don't know. I will know momentarily. No, there's no hope of that going in there. So the next thing is a defective fuse holder. Huh. Really? Am I sure there isn't another? So that's where that battery's been all this time. I think every other one I've got is going to be longer. So this, I think this is the correct size. What could be wrong with this? How can this be wrong? What can I send up into that fuse holder to short the whole thing out? How about that? Two. Something shorter. A broken handle screwdriver. Oh, I bet a screwdriver jammed through my hand. Oh. There we are. Isn't that entertaining? A moment of entertainment. Okay, watching the meter now while I mess around here. Any moment of shorting a short. Just, oh, see it? Okay, so fuse holders hanging in there. Fuse holder failing to make contact with the fuse. Because the fuse holder has been damaged, maybe from somebody jamming too big a fuse in. Really jamming it in there? There's no such pieces in here. There's a little spring arrangement there, just a little piece of metal, and it's working fine. Okay, let's put this back in. We get nothing. So I can either, here in my shop, incidentally, in the line coming to the outlet are inline fuse. So should there be I think it's a 3 amp. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to short this guy out. Say goodbye to this fuse holder, so we can carry on. Well, this stays here. I'm going to I'll keep the fuse out. Put in the just put in the top here. Okay, I'll put the fuse. I don't want to mix it up with the other ones. Let's put them up here. That's my special spot. The spot I put things and then forget where I put them. So I could do this with a clip lead, or I could do it with a solder wire. Clip lead's a little insufficient. Or I can even solder in my own fuse there if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So we're just going to grab a piece of wire. I'm going to short it right out. It's leaving. So that took a long time to solder. Okay. Put that there. You notice the speaker plug is missing. Actually, I got my foot caught on the cord and yanked it right out of there. At one point, that was kind of scary. Yanked this whole amplifier onto the ground. Okay, there we go. Okay, so fuse is now out of the picture. So it's just that much more serious. It should work this time. Volume is turned down. Still in. The tubes got mashed. In the process here. Okay, so order. Oh yeah. So we're gonna find out if this high voltage tube will light now. Pretty certain to light. Plug in. I think we're okay. Can't think of any reason to delay any longer. Again, here we go. Hand upon the switch here. So all that should happen basically is we should see this tube heat. There we go. So the light came on as anticipated. That's going to restrict the voltage. It's only 40 volts reaching this guy right now. 45. Slowly rising, probably as the heater heats up in here. Now, is there enough voltage there to see the heater? Maybe enough voltage. Oh, there's too much light. Well, I don't see it. Okay, so we're still at 43 volts. You know, it's probably just so low that I can't see it. So we're gonna jack up the. We're gonna reduce the restriction. Allow more power to get here. There we go. Lots more power this time. Okay, so now we're up to 88, but 80 volts. Okay, I think I can see it heating now. Yep, definitely. Okay, so all indications are if I were to apply the 6.3, this thing would be operating shortly afterwards. So even at this point, yeah, I don't think so. I was going to say maybe I could hear something coming out of these speakers, like a hiss. Oh. Well, there certainly is a hum, but I don't know if it's coming from the speakers or just a hum in my shop. So we can raise, so we're up to 100 volts now. It's almost full voltage. It's not much harm in giving it the full shot. But we still don't have the 6.3 going. So why don't we leave it restricted at 100 volts. Somebody's buzzing a bit in here. And we'll put the 6.3 on. Oh, it's a good idea. We'll put the 6.3 volts to it. And we may get something coming out of the speaker right away. So no reason to grab the volume control. I just cut the 6.3 off or something else. What I'm worried about is a screamingly loud sound coming out of this thing. And I don't know why it would do that. Shouldn't do that. Okay, 6.3. Here we go. Just reaching way up here. Turn it on. You're going to hear the snap. The switch. I see that. Just blasted right up with light. You'll do the sniff test. Passes the sniff test. . Okay, so the rest of the tube should be heated. This thing should be operating right now. So we another vibration coming out of it. So let me get my ear down by the speaker here. So by my ears, hey, this makes sense. I was going to say by my ears, I hear a hum on one channel and nothing on the other. Well, yeah, nothing on the other. No tubes, no tubes. So that's a thumbs up. Okay, so I will inject the signal. I think the volume's turned minimal here, but it may not be. So this could be loud. Here we go. Using my finger. Is that a good idea? That's a kind of an uncontrolled injection. Let's be a little more controlled. Once again, this amplifier essentially is wide open. No, it isn't. I got the volume control turned down. It is not wide open. Okay, let's use the finger. Here we go. Finger test. Well, I didn't hear a darn thing. Now we're going to turn up the volume here a little bit. Hoo-yah! Hello! Hello, everybody! Interestingly enough, when I did that, and that squeal went through, afterwards there's a new hum. There's a new hum in town, and it's volume dependent. So the volume control appears to be working right. So I turn up just a little bit and touch it. And a little bit. Watch your hands, Jim. Hot diggity dog. There you are. Amplifier working. Job is done. So next thing is to feed in some controlled signals, like frequency and level. Hear and observe what is coming out. Look for a wave shape getting clipped at high volumes, things like that, or even clipped at low volumes would really be the issue. Fiddle around with some of these tone controls, see what happens. Let's put a tone through it and call it a day. Well, let's do that that last step. So to do that, take this guy here. Let's just show you what I'm up to so you can see what's going on. So I'm going to use this signal generator. I'm going to have it not sweeping. I'm going to, at first anyway, we're going to set it to, it's on 100 hertz. No. Let's get it down here. That's a I don't know what that is. So I think that's around 2,000 hertz coming out of this thing right now. Nice tone. Level is minimal. Okay, so we'll put the input on here. Ground. Channel input. Hey, this means these transistors are working and everything. Okay, now I'll advance the output level here. Oh, there it is. So you're hearing the 2000. Let's go up. Of course, this is a test of my speakers. I certainly hear that. Okay, so I'm having a little trouble hearing that. That's up around 8,000 hertz. Some funny business here. Now we'll go down. Okay, so this is 180 hertz. 180 going down. Well, so it's at 87. I really can't hear it, but it's probably just a level thing. So we'll do the loudness control thing. I'll just turn this up. There it is. A little bit of dirt in this control. There, nice smooth bass. Well, 80, you know, how much lower can I get? Again, we're not testing the amp so much right now, we're testing my speakers. But that's good too. I need to know my speakers are working well. And last thing for fun. So I'm still running this with 85 volts here. So there's a lot more. And so even if this thing sounded distorted, it wouldn't be realistic to think there's a problem with it with 85 volts being supplied to it. But seems pretty good. Hey, what about that volume control? Let me turn up the frequency so we can hear it better. Like my signal generator needs a little attention. Here we go. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sounds great. Good. Okay, so I think this stage of this process is done. I now have this unit in a condition where it can be tested properly. We can trace the signal all the way through it. We can check voltages all the way through. We can do all that kind of stuff, knowing that it's working to a very, very high degree. Fantastic. One side of it anyway. Great. That's it. That's it for today. Another nice day outside. So let me just cut the power here, because once in a while I walk out of the shop and I leave the project on for the whole day. I gotta kill this one up here. There we go. Power's off. Okay. See you on the next video, and maybe I'll just move the tubes to the other side and we'll repeat this whole thing on the other side and go from there. See ya. Okay, so I started working on producing the video and decided, why don't I do the other side and we'll find out what's going on. It's so simple. So I've moved all the tubes from this channel over to this channel, and we're just going to repeat exactly what we did. I'm going to move the input over to here, turn it down a bit in case, just in case. And we're ready to re-energize. Same deal here. Volume's down. Good. Okay, so first we give them the low. Give them the low. Give them the 6.3. Okay, we're gonna assume these guys are heating up. Oh yeah, they are. Okay. Apply the high voltage. Again, starting with a big restriction. Here we go. Pow. I shouldn't say pow, should I, when I do stuff like that? So a single dim light is pretty bright. No reason to think. Yeah, I won't. Never mind. Here we go. We're going up in voltage here. 90 volts. Don't stare at light bulbs. That's not good. Okay. 85 volts. Signal going in. Any sound coming out. Work this volume control here and see what we hear. Okay, hold on. So the input level is right down to nothing. So let me put it up roughly where it was. Oh, and the frequency is stupidly low. Stupidly low. Okay, so we're around 1500. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're around 1500 hertz. Going in. Do we hear anything? Oh, we do not. We do not. What is wrong? So we're still at 85 volts. Maybe not enough for this side. We have both speakers plugged in. Never heard anything from the one speaker. What do I hear now? Just one sec here. I got my head down here. Well, what I hear down there is I hear a hum from the speaker on this channel. I don't hear anything from here. No hum. So, explain that one. This channel speaker's still humming. So, you know, maybe I'm leaving it at this point because what have I done? What have I done? I haven't done anything stupid here. I'm sure of that. This is correct. Volume. So it can pop to life at any moment, right? Could be a tube contact. Anything could just. So I turn the volume up. Nothing whatsoever out of that other speaker. So I don't know what it is. I'm going to leave it like that because then why don't we start? Next session I'll start what's going on with this channel that it doesn't work. Gives me something to trace. Could be the transistors right at the front. Could be anything. No sound at all. No sound at all. Let me just turn this up and just double check that. No sound at all deal. I could even have the volume control wired wrong. Damn, it's just absolutely nothing. Maybe did the wires fall out of the back of the speaker? Turn down, Jim. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. A little bit. What's going on down here? Maybe I put the wires in poorly. No. And sometimes you can put those wires in, you know, you just grab the insulation and actually get in contact. Don't know what's up. Okay, we're going to leave that. That'll be interesting. We'll leave that for the next session. So up here on my bench is the project. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you probably tomorrow. Or you'll see me. Actually, you never see me, do you? See ya!